I'm trying to break it down to you. See, that's in the old way. This is the new way. We're using the ebotics.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So all
the stutter. 1, 2, 2,
Yeah,
3,
there
3,
you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So we doing it like that.
You're on.
Hey, this is Tommy here, Ride, Oklahoma. I'm here with Gerald Tims, owner of Performance Cycles here. And Gerald's got kind of a strange story going here. I can't understand it, but he's out there riding dirt bikes. What's going on, Gerald?
Oh, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go to Mexico and ride the Baja 1000.
The Baja 1000, that's the stuff that I used to look at in cycle news back when I was a kid in LA, and I always wanted to go do that, but I never got the chance to do that, James. But here's a guy that went and lived the dream, as I must say.
Well, dream, I don't know would be the right terminology, maybe more of a nightmare, but it was an adventure.
Okay, and then everything was going good out there?
Yeah, we got there on Friday night, went out on Saturday around noon or so to go out and pre-ride, and had a little accident.
Well, exactly what kind of accident?
Well, we were about the mile marker 30 out there and hit a rock doing around 50 miles an hour and kind of spit me sideways, and end result was a broken femur.
Whoa. Wow. Gee, so, how many people was it with you then?
At the time I had the accident, there was one person in front of me that didn't know it happened, and one behind me that helped me start the long venture to get out of the Mexican desert.
The long venture, so you was there for quite some time?
I laid in the desert for about 2.5 hours waiting. My friend came up on me. We had to make a decision on how I was going to get out of there, and so we finally decided we would take him, send him on up, leave me laying there by myself, and send him on up and try to find some help to get me out of there. And so he reluctantly left, and I laid there for probably an hour and a half or so, and the first person that came by was a couple of guys in a Baja bug, and they had stopped and asked me if I was okay, and I explained to them that I had a broken leg, and they had asked me if I was out there by myself, and I said no, I had friends out there to help me, and they were gone to help me. And so they said, well, okay, we'll tell everybody on the way on up, and so we'll get the information out for you and help get you out of here. And he said, hey, there's a truck coming behind me, probably about 45 minutes, maybe an hour behind me. And I said, okay. I said, is it a race truck, or what kind of truck is it? And he said, no, it's a couple civilians and just in a four-wheel drive pickup. And I said, well, are they American or Mexican? And he said, no, they're American. He said, they can probably help you. And I said, okay, great. We'll wait for them.
Sure, but laying in the desert like that right there, it wasn't a lot of traffic passing you by? Or?
No, because we were late in the afternoon. It was about 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, just in pre-riding, and a lot of the people go out pre-riding and are doing it earlier in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So there wasn't a lot of traffic out there.
Okay, so then you get, and then of course the people came by in the truck and they helped you out.
A couple of guys came by in the truck and they stopped, and at that time, like I said, I'd probably been laying there for probably 2.5 hours, and
whoa,
and they come up and ask. Well, I was kind of shaking and going into shock, and they were like, so they ran back to their truck and got some blankets and got a pillow and kind of got me stabilized a little bit and asked me what was going on, and I explained to them that I had a broken femur, and my friends was trying to get some help, and they said, hey, we'll help you. We're not going to leave you here. And I said, well, my friend, I could hear a motorcycle coming back, and I said, my friend had went to get some help, and that sounded like him coming back. And they said, well, we'll wait on him and see what's going on. And he said, well, are you in pain? And I said, well, yeah, I've got a broken femur. It doesn't feel good.
Oh, wow.
So he said, I've got some Vicodin. He said, that may be, a painkiller, maybe a recreation drug. I said, man, I'm not here to judge anybody, but I'll take them.
So you took a couple of those?
Took a couple of Vicodins. Then the noise from my friend that I thought was coming back to help me turned and went away. And so,
So it's good.
so at this time, we're trying to decide what we're going to do. And maybe 10 minutes later, a couple other vehicles show up from the opposite direction, and they come and ask me. I said, "Are you Gerald?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, your friend had stopped me up the road here and wanted us to come and help you, but he turned and went the wrong direction, and he's lost."
Oh, wow.
They said, "But we will help get you out of here." And I said, "Well, great. You know, I'm ready to go somewhere."
But at that time, with the Viking and all of that stuff and almost going into shock and stuff, it kind of got away from the shock.
Yeah, I think I'd kind of calmed down. You know, I wasn't there by myself anymore. I had at least had, even though they were strangers, there were people there. So, you know, after you lay in the desert for a few hours staring up at the buzzards.
Yeah, I could just imagine the buzzards, the snakes, and everything coming around, and you like, woo, just circling you, ready to make dinner out of you.
Exactly.
And then you sitting out there cooking and with all your riding gear and everything on it, not comfortable and stuff. So then they got you stabilized. And
yeah, they the couple of guys that showed up in the pickup, they were Mexican guys. One of them spoke really good English, and he said, "Hey, we're going to get you out of here." And I said, "Okay, great." So he turned his truck around, and they had a board kind of in the back of their truck, and I got myself up on the board, and by this time another truck had showed up, and it was a production race truck, and the guy stopped and come up and ask us, you know, what was going on. We explained to him that I had a broken leg and they were going to get me out of here. And he said, "Well," "I'm an EMT." He said, "I've got an air splint in my truck." I said, "Okay, great." He said, "But we're going to have to get your boot off, you know, to put this air splint on." I said, "Okay." I said, "But, you know, somebody needs to grab my leg below my knee before you start yanking on that boot, or we're gonna have problems."
Wow.
So he got the air splint. He got my boot off. Got the air splint on. Unfortunately, it only went up to about exactly where the brake was, but we didn't know that at the time. So, and he said, he told the other gentleman that was loading me in their truck, he said, "Hey, I know my way around here. Don't pass me." He goes, "And we'll get you out of here. We'll get you up to an ambulance," because I had requested that I not go to a Mexican hospital. I needed to get to the U.S. And so that's when the long journey began.
When you said the long journey began, so they couldn't just drive you to the hospital, or?
Well, we took off and they were going up the trail, so it was at a very slow pace, you know, 5-10 miles an hour, and we went for about 3 hours in the back of this truck, and they stopped, and I heard them talking, and then they come back and told me. They said, "Man," I said, "I don't know what happened to that guy in that truck. He seemed like a really cool guy, but he just took off and left us." Said, "We don't know where we're going, so we have to follow the track to get to where we need to get." So, you know, now we're at about 9-10 o'clock at night. So at that time, we continue on for about another 3 hours in the darkness, and we stop again, and I hear them converging with each other, and now they're discussing, "Hey, we're really low on fuel. We don't know if we're going to have enough fuel to get out of here." So they come back and explain to me, you know, "Hey, we're trying to get you out of here." I said, "I understand." He said, "But we're really low on fuel." He said, "We're trying to find a road out of here that we know that's out here that will get us up to Highway 2, which is Mount Rosa." And he said that'll get us to a paved road, and then we'll be able to get you out. And I said, "Well, you're doing everything you can do, you know, so I'm here for the ride."